Well, good morning. Welcome to Faith Without Religion. This is Frank in Williamsburg, Virginia. Very happy to see you here today. Wherever you're calling in from around the world, then hope you're having a great day. It may have just started, it may have just finished. It all depends on your location. Anyway, in recent days, we've been talking a lot about how you position yourself to think about the millennial kingdom and the importance of actually the way we think about things and how thoughts are so powerful. So it's very interesting that today's entry, number 187, is titled, Choose Your Thoughts Wisely. So let's see what God said about that. Focusing the mind on things of goodness and purity is the key to clear thoughts, says God. A mind encumbered by the lusts of this world is unable to think clearly. This renders it incapable of clear, accurate communications with my spirit, which will cause the thinker to be ineffective or even to be deceived. This is why I tell you to incline yourself towards the things that are beautiful, decent, loving, and righteous. Protection of the thinking part of your body is equally as important as protection of the physical parts of your body. It can poison your system just as surely as eating the wrong food, drinking the wrong drinks, or speaking the wrong words. While they are still thoughts, words can be taken captive and rendered null and void before being released. Filling your spirit with wonderful, powerful, anointed thoughts will empower your physical body in a way that you have never experienced. It is, however, a challenging task because the enemy also seeks dominion over your thinking. So you must be vigilant and consistent. Remember that this is a choice. So you should choose your thoughts wisely. I've heard it said that thinking is the hardest work in the world. And it's very, very true. Now again, we mentioned the other day that the difference between people living in the world today and people living in the world in biblical times, it's just an infinite difference, because you are now faced with so many different and additional challenges and so many other attempts to change the way or influence the way that you think about things. And it's going on all around us all day, every day, excuse me, at a level that the world has never seen before. I mean, it's astonishing. People put on their TV, they're bombarded by subliminal messages in the advertising. But it's even now in the programming. If you want to watch news to find out what's going on in the world, you'll find there's very little news being delivered. It's psychological manipulation where they deliver whatever it is they want to tell you about from an angle that will cause you to think in a way that supports their agenda, whoever they happen to be. So it's very, very difficult to get control of your own thoughts. So that is why I encourage you to take a stand that you don't do things like watch the news. It's difficult, I know it's difficult, particularly when there's things that are everyone's talking about. But here's the reality: if God wants you to know something, he'll make sure that you find out one way or the other, not because you sit for hours just absorbing this stuff into your head, because it causes you to then think differently and act differently. But what it always does is it takes you away from what God wants you to be doing. Unless the Lord specifically says to you, Frank, I've anointed you to be a politician. I want you to go into politics and I want you to do this, 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 this. If there's ever a politician like that, I can tell you his success will be unfathomable. Right now, I don't believe there is one anyway. See, God's not interested in that. He's interested in the hearts of men. He's interested in them following the ways in His Word. And yes, He did encourage us to have structure in the nations that we live in. He encouraged us to do all that. But man has just taken it and perverted it beyond repair. And look, none of this is a surprise to the Lord. He knew exactly what was going to happen. But we're at a time now where we're getting close to the return of the Messiah. And our commission is to preach the gospel to all the world. And you don't have to be a minister to preach the gospel to all the world. You just have to be a person who loves the Lord. And what you do on a daily basis reflects the fact that His Spirit is alive and driving your every thought, your words, and your action. But you have to be able to choose your thoughts wisely. But how do you choose your thoughts? Well, you have to be cognizant of what you're doing. You have to slow down a little bit. Just take a bit of time and make sure that your thoughts are just not being bombarded and influenced by everything else that's going on around, from the media to work colleagues. It's hard. It's hard work. That's why thinking is such hard work. So how do you get control of it? You sit quietly. You sit in that presence with God, and that just unique connection that you can make between you and Him, and where He will talk to you through His Spirit that He has placed in you. It's just the most wonderful thing, because it's the purest form of communication. You don't even have to say anything. You just can listen and you feel the presence of the living God. It's the most wonderful thing. It's cleansing, it's uplifting, and after you do it, even just for a few minutes, you will feel encouraged. You will feel a sense of God's power ready to work through you. One of the things that He told me to do was to realize that the bombardment from the world is never ending. And as you know, He called us to be in the world, but not of the world. So what He told me to do through the course of the day is to take refreshing times. So what's a refreshing time? Well, it's just a time where it doesn't matter what you're doing, you just set yourself aside just for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's all it takes. And get quiet and just speak to God. Oh Lord, here I am today. I'm at this job. I'm on this project. I'm in this situation. And I just want to just tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate you. And I'm just asking, Father, that your Spirit will guide me to make godly decisions in everything that I do and speak words of truth and power, because you've placed them in me. And you can just have a conversation like that with the Lord for a few minutes. Just get quiet, breathe in His Spirit, and you'll start feeling your whole body is now invigorated with the Spirit again. And you brush off all the garbage that the world has tried to attach to you in the few hours before your last refreshing. If you do that several times a day, I promise you, your life will be different. All right, see you back here again tomorrow. Bye for now.